Yo, 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 yo. What up, social media? It's your boy Junky Junk. Back at it again. You know what I'm saying? I'm back from the last video that I did. I know that I probably kind of left y'all hanging on the last video, but I did tell y'all that, y'all just tune on in and lay around for it, because I will be, giving y'all an account for an account, demonstration about what the boys been going through. You know what I mean? From start to finish, from beginning to end, about this Zoe Pound shit. I know I kind of left off on that last video. I actually spoke about the guys, the homies, incarceration, which is the fall of the actual Zoe Pound in essence. You know what I mean? I am the amazing Junky Junk, original Zoe Pound, stepper, original Zoe Pound affiliate, and official Sable Palm boy. You feel me? Yeah, so what I was trying to get to from the last video, just piggybacking from the last video, is the fact that, when incarceration took place for the homies, which was a critical time, for the movement. It was a time when we had just finished, completing the album. The album was, ready to go. It was already pressed up, at the time, which was back in 2002, being the year that I got locked up. Right about the time when I got locked up was a very, very critical time frame, for the whole organization, for the movement, because it was during that time where we were transitioning, into, the music. We were actually right at the point where we were getting offered deals. A deal was on the table. Actually, at that specific time, I'm gonna just rewind it back a little bit to 2001. Still a little bit before I caught my case. A little bit after, the World Trade Center, was experiencing, that tragedy. September 11, 2001 was the actual date. What was crazy about that whole, September 11 thing was a little bit before that, I'm going to say it was, I think it was in August. I think it was my birthday month when me and Mac and Zoe actually took a trip out to New York. Why were we at New York? Actually, at that time, we had Bushwick Bill on board. God bless his soul. Bushwick Bill, man, real deal. The brother, we met the brother through another one of our homies, Corey from Step Up Records. Corey was a homie through the hood that had his record company, and he was trying to do his, his 1-2 at the time. And Bushwick had the little, situation with rap a lot at the time. He was venturing out on a quest to do his own thing, and he ended up in Miami. So when he did end up in Miami, something drew him to Little Haiti. I think, if I'm not mistaken, verbatim, he was telling us when he embarked the journey to come to Miami, he was actually coming down here to link up with the Pound. And he actually landed in Little Haiti, and he bumped heads with Corey from Step Up Records. So I guess while he was, vibing with Corey, he explained to Corey that he was looking for a particular set of individuals he was looking for the group Zoe Pound, you know what I mean? And it was a beautiful thing. Corey wasn't no hater, and we fucked with Corey. So Corey actually let him know that, man, I know them boys. I fuck with them boys for real, for real. Like them my niggas, you know. So Bushwick requested that he have Corey make us meet him. So I think Mac had got the call. I don't know if Mac got the call or the call came through me. I can't remember, but I know we had got the call to come over to his studio. And when we got there, Bushwick Bill was just sitting in there, vibing with him. And from that point on, as we, dialogue with Bushwick, introduced ourselves, what have you, had a little conversation. We went downstairs, Bushwick was listening to the album. We was in, I could remember it clear as day because I think I was rolling with Mac. We was in Mac Ride that time. Yeah, we was in Mac Ride. And we were playing the album. So he came down, we was vibing, we was blowing on a little something. He was listening to the album. He was like, he was kind of amazed and thrilled about what he was hearing, you know what I mean? So from that point on, he jumped in with us and it was on from there. So I said that to say this, man, rest in peace, to Bushwick, man, but he was a very, very, very important figure, in this whole Zoe Pound demonstration when it came to the music. Bushwick actually, was shaping and molding, us about this industry, He told us, that, the industry, it's a kind of funny industry and it ain't about what you know, it ain't about the quality of music you have, it's who you know. So we embarked that journey. We trusted Bushwick, to do the right thing. And so he did. Bushwick was, man, anybody that know Bushwick personally, man, I was a hell of an individual, man. The brother, man, had so much in his brain, man. It was a shame, man, just so brilliant and intelligent, man, to be going through the things he was going through. Nonetheless, it was Bushwick Bill and his creativity, that helped us finish off the album. He actually co-directed with Malcolm, to do the Coming For You video. Bushwick Bill was very instrumental in helping us, even shop the deal, because if it wasn't from him, we would have never met, rest in peace, Gary Ivey. So Gary Ivey was the chief cornerstone to us even landing the deal. And for y'all who don't know, if you didn't hear, Zoe Pound had a deal on the table. We had a contract. You know what I mean? Actually, Gary Ivey was the one that allowed us to have the opportunity to walk in the Sony building. We were able to see Michael Jackson's work on that first floor, man. I mean, if you was to ever enter the Sony building, just the first floor, man, would amaze you with how immaculate the architecture is and all that gold that's down there, you know what I mean? All that was Michael Jackson work, that, landed, that building that they had, nice building. And from what we was hearing, man, when we stepped up in that building, man, Gary was actually explaining to us, rest his soul once again, he was explaining to us that, like, bro, we're about to go up here and talk to some people, man. Most guys, that come to this building, they don't go past the first floor, if Sony ain't dealing with them. They gonna come to this table, speak to some interns, speak to some secretaries. There's gonna be some phone calls made, and if you ain't what they want, you getting right back out of there. You know what I'm saying? But to our surprise, man, he was like, bro, these people, they really want to deal with y'all. we're gonna be speaking to the, the man next to Tommy Matula to see if, they're gonna go ahead and negotiate that deal for y'all. You know what I mean? So we walked up in there, went up to the top floor, shook a couple of hands, with some of the execs. It was almost as if we had the deal, man. It was amazing the response that we got, from the execs and all the personnel that was on that top floor, you know what I mean? And we were actually talking to the man next to Tommy Matula. I think at that time, Tommy Matula was out handling some type of business, so we didn't get to shake his hand, but we damn near shake hands with everybody that's responsible for that machine that, runs Sony, man. And man, Bushwick Bill, man, that was just an amazing, accomplishment, that we experienced with Bushwick Bill. I mean, right before, the homies court cases. So, I mean, we walked out of Sony building. We didn't walk out of Sony building with no paperwork in our hand because, they wanted to, speak a little more in depth about, even putting something on paper for us. That was just one of the deals that was on the table that G walked us through. But what was the most serious deal was the deal that Warner Brothers had to offer. Back in them times, and I don't even know if today Warner Brothers even does rap, but we all know Warner Brothers, Warner Pictures, Time Warner. That's the people that were interested in our project. We were supposed to be the first rap group that Warner Brothers was gonna sign at the time. They had various people come, to the table, in regards of, getting a deal from them, but it was not that much interest in a lot of guys that come through. But for some strange reason, through an A&R that G knew, we got word that Warner Brothers was interested and they wanted us to be the first rap group that they was gonna put out because of the niche we set. You know what I mean? So me and Mac, we did take that trip with Gary Ivey, and we spoke to the VP of the movie side, and we also spoke to another exec which handed us, a contract and gave us a time frame, told us that, he wanted us to review the contract, and if there were any clauses in the contract that we disagreed with, feel free to bring it to the table. You know how that go, for those of y'all that know how those, how you transition through, the deal process. And that was that. We shook hands. They gave us the paperwork. It was a $2 million deal with $200,000 of non-recoupable money that was supposed to be intact in that deal. The crazy part about that whole situation, when we came out of that building, as soon as we got back to Atlanta, because at that time, G was standing in Atlanta. I'm talking about Gary Ivey. He was standing in Atlanta. Me and G-Child at the time were going back and forth to Atlanta because we was working on G-Child's solo album while the Zoe Pound album, was being shot. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that was the plan. The plan was, yes, Zoe Pound is, going to continue to be a group, but like with any group, in the future, sometimes it happens through the labels, and sometimes it's kind of like, something that, just naturally happens where, every artist from a group, is going to produce a solo album. So we were kind of like ahead with that, and G-Child was already working on his album. So we were up there in Atlanta, back and forth to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, dealing with G, and, G was the one taking us, the different studios and having us meet different producers out of Atlanta. At that time, in 2001, around that time, Atlanta was just becoming the new black Mecca, you know what I'm saying? Hollywood was very interested in Atlanta at the time, because you had your Ludacris's, you had your Dungeon Family, you had all those guys coming to Atlanta. At that time, Gangsta Boo was doing her thing, Pastor Troy. You had those artists coming out of Atlanta, and they had a lot of talent. So that's where G resided. So, we were back and forth, preparing G Child's album at the same token. So right after we got off the plane, we landed in Atlanta. And I'm going to say it was almost like 2 weeks after we landed, in Atlanta, is when we heard the World Trade Center had got hit. And man, it was so crazy, you know what I mean? It was like, my stomach was turning, because at that time, I was like, man, we just left the Sony building. You know what I'm saying? We just left Time Warner's building. The World Trade Center, we was just looking at the World Trade Center. We took pictures and everything, on the Strip. So, it was kind of shocking, to know that, damn, man, they just bombed the Trade Center. So that kind of put the world on pause, you know what I'm saying? If you can understand what was going on at that time, it kind of put the world on pause. We had the contract. We were preparing to launch. Gary Ivey had us meet Keith Sweat. Me and Macazo, we met Keith Sweat at that time. He had us meet Rico Wade. Rico Wade was supposed to be, preparing a track for us, to go on the album, you know what I'm saying? So those are the things that were going down, at the end of 2001. Quite naturally in 2002, March, I caught my beef. I caught my Fed beef. So that's kind of like me starting at the end of, the downfall of Zoe Pound. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like starting the story backwards from the time, I got incarcerated. Because what you got to understand is in 2002, that was the actual year that it's supposed to went, the way of us, landing the deal. But unfortunately, March 7, 2002, I was, part of a federal sting, and I was apprehended, from the feds, and was no longer to see the streets till 15 years later. I'ma say that marked like the beginning of the downfall, because if you count from 2002 March on up, like going backwards, 2001, 2000, 99, 98, you will actually experience us progressing as a music group, as a label. We were progressing. Anything from the time, I'ma say I fell, 2002, because a little bit after I fell, Mac fell. Mac fell in 2003. I fell 2002. Solo, at that time, Solo was already incarcerated, for a charge, that stemmed from him coming from Bahamas with some money. The folks wanted to know, like, what was he doing with all this money, and they hit him with a tax evasion charge. So Solo was cased up, as the main head, from the Prime. So at that time, me, Solo, and Mac were actually the only main homies that were on paperwork, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like a joint venture with Most Wanted Record, which was the Big Homie Kid label. That was his label, but it's a lot of things that Kid did for us, on the street level. that made a nigga respect him highly. You know what I'm saying? Some shit he sacrificed and some shit he did, you know, that we'll talk about later. You know, that made us respect the fact that, you know, when the boys was in a situation on the street level, you know, kid came through. You know what I'm saying? He came through like a G supposed to. And, you know, if it wasn't for the kid at that time, man, you know, it could have really, really been ugly then, for real, you know, with this music thing. But, you know, all respects to the kid, man. You know, he took us on the journey, man, and he wasn't one of them old school homies that fuck with the boys that was, you know, scared of the boys. Because, you know, when we was in the streets, you know, niggas was terrified for real. You know what I mean? Everything that you heard about the Pound, whether real or fake, you know, it kind of ran niggas away from us, especially niggas that was in the street getting money. You know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't want to fuck with that because niggas had a false impression about us, you know, spazzing out on niggas if they look out. You know, niggas had fucked up impression on us, like, you know, if you fuck with them boys will kill you and rob you and shit. You know what I'm saying? Some fuck shit. But all that shit stemmed from when we was in the street, when we was young niggas wilding. You know, niggas had beef in the streets and shit, you know, back in the days. You know, y'all might have heard of like the Sap Boy beef. You know what I'm saying? The Sap Boy beef was some shit that we was going through on the street level with another set of Haitian niggas, man. You know what I mean? You know, shout out to my nigga Cocaine. You know what I'm saying? Cocaine was one of the original Sap Boys, you know what I mean? And you know, Cocaine, you know, he went through the penal system and, you know, he changed his life, you know what I'm saying? I got all respects for the brother because, you know, on some real G shit, after all that we've been through, you know what I mean? When Cocaine got out here, me and him vibe, you know what I'm saying? We kicked it, you know what I'm saying? And we let old beef be old beef, you know what I'm saying? On some real nigga shit. And, you know, to tell you the truth, you know, Cocaine a goon, you know what I'm saying? He a real nigga, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people out here still be false claiming, even with the Sap boys, you know what I'm saying? A nigga know the original nigga, so, you know, it was never a problem, you know, to just pick up the phone and, you know what I'm saying, holler at a nigga and, you know what I'm saying, handle it like men supposed to. So we did that, you know what I'm saying, and all due respect, man, you know what I'm saying, you know, to Cocaine, you know what I'm saying, rest in peace Kiki, his brother. But yeah, you know, that's what gave, you know what I'm saying, niggas, you know what I'm saying, the wrong impression about who the Pound was, cause so much old beef had niggas kind of like shook about the boys. But one thing a nigga can't say about the boys though, for real, if it was beef in the streets back in them days, it was never no offensive, you know what I'm saying, retaliation or none of that. Everything was in defense, you know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted about the original Pound, man. The original Pound, the original Saber Palm boys, that's who I'm talking about. The homies, we was always about money. We was always about, you know, getting our people out of the state of poverty. You know what I'm saying? We was all about representing our flag, our culture, you know, and demonstrating that, you know, Haitians are to be respected for what they gave to the world. That's all it was really about. But you know how it is in the street, man. You know, sometimes it's beef. You know, if you really live that street life, you know, the street life ain't peaceful. The street life don't promise you, you know, peaches and cream. You know what I mean? One thing we know about the street life, man, is either, you know, death or jail. You know what I'm saying? It's death or jail. The streets is not your friend. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing friendly about the streets. So it is what it is. But like I said, you know, we had those little encounters, you know what I mean, back in the days. But it's all good. It is what it is. So that's that. You feel me? On another note, you know, as we transition, you know what I mean, as we start, you know, embarking this mission, you know, for the hip hop, you know, industry, you know, it was not a cakewalk. You know what I mean? It was not a cakewalk because a nigga still had to get it how they live. You know what I'm saying? To just try to get the shit up and rolling. It was very difficult. You know what I'm saying? Being the niggas that we were. But nonetheless, you know what I'm saying? Like I was saying, I'm piggybacking back to the last video. Right about 2002, after I fell, Mac fell shortly after me. Mac fell in 2003. You know, we'll talk about that story later on. So what I'm saying now is anything that went on from 2003 on down, if it had anything to do with the pound, it was a bunch of falsehood. Because that was the time when you had this nigga, the same nigga that I told y'all about in the first video, Ali Adams, a.k.a. Zoe, faking like he was a Zoe Pound nigga. So let me tell you a little something about this nigga Ali Adams. So Ali Adams has a big homie, right? Shout out to my nigga P out here. Did his time like a soldier. He ain't go out like no rat. You know what I'm saying? The folks gave him a life sentence. And if it wasn't for the crack law and the laws that changed in the recent years that just passed us, you know, my man would have still been doing a life sentence for those draconian drug laws that they had, you know what I'm saying, that targeted, you know, like they say, the minorities, you know what I'm saying? That's another story. But anyway, Ali Adams, a.k.a. Chip, which is a nobody, nigga. You was a nobody out here. You know what I'm saying? Your big homie is who Chubb fuck with. My homie Big Chubb, rest in peace, met his big homie in the jailhouse, okay, in the Starcade. Them boys was in the blocks. They bonded in the blocks. And when we was on our Zoe Pound shit doing the music, you know what I mean? Whenever that Fuji concert was going down on the beach, you know, Zoe Pound was an opening act for the Fugees. And, you know, P was out there with his entourage, which his little homie was this so-called fake-ass wannabe Zoe Pound founder or Zoe Pound representative. That's when his fake ass, you know what I'm saying, came into the scene as, you know, my main man P's little homie, you know what I mean? So since Chubb knew him from the joint and them boys came out to support, you know what I mean? And they came out to the Fuji concert. So when he seen Chubb at the time, the homies had the verts, you know, with the Haitian flags. I know y'all probably heard about that time frame, you know. Y'all remember Crenshaw, remember 119, how everybody used to come out, you know, and shine, you feel me? You know, if you had a whip that was like that back in them days, that was the day to, you know what I'm saying, come out and show what you got. You feel what I'm saying? So at that time, the boys had the Chevys and shit. Niggas was just doing the little music shit. Niggas was just trying to get into, you know what I'm saying, the industry as far as music. You know, that was always our inspiration. That was always our motivation to do music. You know what I'm saying? Because Miami, in general, for real, you know, contributed majorly to hip hop. You know, Miami had their own style of music. Miami had bass music. You know what I'm saying? Miami's was like the originators of booty shake. Miami had their own dances. You know what I'm saying? We had our own style. You feel what I'm saying? And we made a big impact in the hip hop. So our motivation growing up as youngsters was, you know what I'm saying, to have a shot at, you know, being in the music industry and being able to contribute to the music industry, you know what I mean? Because we felt that we had something to offer. You see what I'm saying? So back to what I was talking about as far as, you know, when the boys had the Chevys out there, you know what I'm saying, clowning niggas coming through in the verts, you know, all the Chevys with the wet looks on it, you know how that was, you know, all the little honeys sweating, niggas got the flags, the Haitian flags sticking out them joints. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know about that history if you really from Miami. You know what I'm saying? So it was around about that time where the big homie Chubb linked back up with Zoe P. You know what I mean? And we ended up fucking with them boys, Zoe P to be exact. You know what I mean? He came back through a little bit after that. Used to come through by the White House, where the boys used to chill at, where the boys was trapping to be exact. You feel what I'm saying? To be real. So he was coming through, and we happened to like fuck with each other on the street level, doing business, and that's what it was. So, P ended up catching a case with two of my homeboys, you know what I'm saying? Two of the real Pound niggas. And after they caught that case, this nigga Chip, on the street level was still trying to come around, trying to just kind of like vibe with the boys, but niggas didn't really have no relationship with you. Niggas ain't had no relationship with Chip, it was with P. But since we knew that, P caught a case with the homies, he was allowed to just come through, and, niggas was still, heavy in the streets. Niggas was trying to eat. You feel what I'm saying? So he still came around and shit, and niggas was, if a nigga could help him, you know what I'm saying, get whatever he need on the street level. You know how that was on the street level. Nigga fucked with everybody. So, nigga need the sack or whatever. Niggas got it for the low. Niggas try to share, you know what I'm saying? Niggas try to share, connects. That way nigga could eat. But it was just something so strange about this nigga, though, because the homies didn't really agree with this nigga, you know what I mean? And personally, he had a problem with the homie Go-Go, to be exact, because what Go-Go understood about this nigga was, this nigga, it seems like he suffered from some type of mental disorder or something, because he had an altercation where he pulled out on his own mama. You feel what I'm saying? And the Pound had principles, dog. A nigga felt like if a nigga could pull out on his mama, if you could pull out a gun on your fucking mama, dog, bruh, who am I to you? You know what I'm saying? What respect or what kind of love, you know what I'm saying, would you have for a nigga that you just know from the streets when you don't even have respect for your own mama? So it was one event that took place that, the nigga came through the hood and he asked the homie for a chopper or some shit. He needed to borrow a chopper. And the homie was like, fuck no, nigga ain't giving you no motherfucking chopper, dog. Nigga don't even fuck with niggas like you, bruh. Nigga, if you could draw on your mama, nigga, who the fuck is, you know what I'm saying, a nigga to you, bruh? You know what I'm saying? You a dangerous dude. So from that point on, it was some personal beef, like somewhat, with the homie Go-Go and the nigga Chip. So at one point, you know what I'm saying, we was on our little shit anyway. We was on our Zoe Pound shit. Niggas had done got incarcerated. Homies had done, caught fresh cases. You know what I'm saying? Right before I got out in 1997 from a state beef. So at that time when I got out, the homies, some of the original homies had done went on a little lick, which was on the news. You know what I mean? Them boys down there had to get rescued out of the motherfucking ocean, you know what I'm saying, trying to go, you know what I'm saying, on a little lick or whatever. But whatever the case may be, when I got out of prison, you know what I'm saying, it was like, it was dead. You feel what I'm saying? This shit was like ghost town. You know what I mean? I was kind of shocked when I got out, because when I was in the state, when the homie sent me the package to go home, because when you getting out of state prison, you send a slip home to get a going home package where your people could send you clothes and shit so you could be released. And then they give you the ticket, you jump on the Greyhound and you come on home. So whenever I spoke to Chubb and they had done sent me my going home package, you know what I'm saying, I was good. So I didn't even call home. I was like, I'ma surprise them boys. I didn't even tell them what my date was. I was like, I'ma surprise the homies, you know what I'm saying, when I get out. You feel me? And when I got out in March, man, it was so crazy, because I think I had got my going home package a little bit before Chubb passed. Chubb passed in 96. I got out in 97. So when I got out and the homies was telling me Chubb passed, and one of the homies' little brother had passed too that I knew nothing about. It was shocking to me, bro. I got out, it was like a ghost town. You feel me? It was like the whole town was deserted, and a nigga was back at square one. But nonetheless, some shit transpired. Junky Junk got back out here on his shit. You know what I'm saying? Got shit back on point. at that time, from the boat leg, Solo had done got out, you know what I'm saying? But Solo had to lay low because, you know, these folks were still looking for niggas for all kind of shit, and you had a lot of niggas running their mouth, you know what I'm saying, snitching. That's gonna be another segment what I'm, you know, be talking about, you know what I'm saying, because we got a lot of homies that used to be down that ain't down no more. You feel what I'm saying? Niggas that had, you know what I'm saying, street creds that, you know, got revoked, you know what I'm saying, because a nigga bust his gun, because a nigga go get it, because a nigga go out, you know what I'm saying, for the cause. That don't make you no real nigga. You know what I'm saying? That don't make you a real nigga. A real nigga is when you 360 degrees always, every day on some real nigga shit, on some real principles. You stand for what's right. You know what I'm saying? Because like Pac said, real niggas turn to busters now. You got some real niggas that turn to busters for real. We got a lot of niggas, they was out here shoot them up, bang, bang. You know what I'm saying? They whole hood feared them. Niggas respected them. But time them crackers put their hands on them niggas went rat. You feel what I'm saying? There's a lot of rats out here. There's a lot of killer rats. There's all kind of fake niggas out here. Like I said, shit done changed from the time I went in and got out. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of shit that took place. It's a lot of shit that happened in between time. And it's a lot of shit that the world don't know about the Pound because, you know, in that circle, we kept shit so airtight to when shit start happening, whenever you have fake niggas like Chip starting to claim the fame and acting like he was one of the Zoe Pound niggas, he actually had the industry fooled. He fooled niggas like Puffy, bruh. You know, to my understanding, while we was incarcerated and this nigga had made it his business, the fake like he was actually the founder of the Pound. This nigga in Don Divas. This nigga had write-ups in magazines. This nigga had all kind of shit out here, you know, perpetrating as if he was the Pound, and people really didn't know. Only niggas that really fucked with the boys, like, you know, Cash Money, you know what I'm saying, Guru, niggas like that, Chef from the Wu-Tang, niggas like that knew who the original boys with. So at that time, though, when we was doing our thing, you gotta understand, we was dealing with this nigga on the street level for real. You know what I'm saying? And the nigga suffered from identity crisis so much, bro. Like, he really wanted to be the boy. So, yeah, he went on this little lick or whatever, came up. You know what I'm saying? That's when he started flossing like, oh, you know, he the shit because you making money. Nigga, we been getting bread, bro. We been getting bread. But all of a sudden, when the nigga start touching a little bread, he start feeling himself. You know what I mean? But it was all good because we fucked with him on the street level. So this nigga went out and he started his own label, House of Fire. Everybody know about House of Fire. Everybody knows about Toro. Toro was the best shit the nigga had. Toro was a rapping ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, you know, Toro, you know, he was murdered at you know, a known club, Coco's. He was murdered at Coco's for whatever the reason was. Rest in peace, Toro. You know what I mean? Toro was a part of House of Fire, which was a great artist that Chip had that probably would have blown up. But like I said, his passing kind of fucked the whole demonstration up for House of Fire at the time. You know what I mean? So it was some other artist he had. I don't even know the nigga name because, you know, the nigga wasn't really beating up the airwaves like that. So I don't even really know the nigga name. But for some strange reason, when the boys, you know, caught cases, you know what I'm saying, and this nigga used to be seen around the homies and shit, everybody knew he was at House of Fire. You ain't fooling nobody in Miami that you is a House of Fire nigga. You know what I'm saying? The original Zoe Pound niggas, the original homies. We're all from Little Haiti, dog. Zoe Pound is a Little Haiti group. The title of Zoe Pound album was Little Haiti Stories. Not Kara City Stories, not Chip Stories, not Ali Stories. It was Little Haiti Stories. We were a Little Haiti group. Our section in the hood was Sabre Palm, Third Court. You know what I'm saying? A lot of niggas even get Zoe Pound twisted because you got a lot of fake niggas out here, you know, just because they lived in the Palms. When niggas was doing they time, niggas was claiming that they was Zoe Pound because they from Zoe Pound too. A lot of crazy shit was going on, man. A lot of crazy shit went on when the original homies, you know, got locked up. And what's so crazy about this shit was that the industry, or certain niggas in the industry, fell for the bullshit that this nigga brought to the table. You know what I'm saying? Only real people from Miami that was out there during the time when we was doing our shit, when we actually met Cash Money them, you know what I'm saying, when we was beating up the streets. It's niggas that was in the streets doing their thing too. You got niggas like Bally, you know what I'm saying, them boys was doing their thing. You got motherfuckers like Madman, them boys was Lakeside. They was doing their thing. You had Mad Production, you know what I'm saying? They were doing their thing. They were actually in the Coming For You video, you know, with the little Chevys. They was representing. We fuck with them boys hard too. You know what I'm saying? So niggas knew who's who and what was what. But for some strange reason, when niggas caught their cases, this nigga, the same nigga Chip that was faking like he was, at one point, niggas from Carol City, you know what I'm saying? I got respect from niggas from Carol City. There's a lot of goons from Carol City that I still respect to this day, man. Niggas like, you know what I'm saying, Lynn Wood, you know what I'm saying, Real Soldier, you know, from Carol City, you know what I'm saying? 2 times for my nigga Jim Bob, you know what I'm saying? Real nigga, you know. He from that area, Carol City, Opalaka area, you know what I'm saying? The niggas was real niggas. I even, you know what I'm saying? I even fucked with Graylin to a level, right? Booby right-hand man, Graylin, my nigga. Graylin, what, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Graylin too, man. You know, it's fucked up. My nigga, dog, you know you my nigga. You know, I heard a lot of fuck shit, you know what I'm saying, about you, dog. You know what I'm saying? But we fucked with each other on a level, dog, that only me and him know, dog. And to the day, Graylin, if you see this video, you hear this video, boy, you know your boy Star. You know your boy Star held you down, dog. You know what I'm saying? I did you a real favor, dog, and I handled that business for you. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you owe me one, homie. You know what I'm saying? You owe me one, and you know what I'm talking about, dog. You know what I'm saying? On some real nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying, that I heard, man, that disturbed my soul, dog. Because, man, when we was in the county jail, dog, you know what I'm saying, we was on some soldier shit. And when I got out the state, you know what I'm saying, I went down through there and I fucked with your peoples, dog. You know what I'm saying? I fucked with Priscilla, dog. You know what I'm saying? I made sure, you know what I'm saying, that I broke her off anytime that I could, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know what I'm saying, in respect to you. But a lot of shit that I heard, man, a lot of shit that I've been hearing, dog, it disturbed me, dog. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, not to get off the subject, like I said, when niggas caught cases and shit, this nigga took it upon himself. You know what I mean? And niggas is saying, I'm not too sure because like I said, I got locked up first. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is saying in the streets that, you know what I mean, him and Mac, you know what I'm saying, had some dealings or whatever. And on the street level, you know, something took place to the effect that where this nigga felt that, you know what I'm saying, he was one of the boys, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Just dealing with him, fucking with him on the street level. I don't know what possessed this nigga to think that he could claim that he fucking Zoe Pound founder. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. But anyway, it was a time when, let me shut this shit off. It was a time when, like, all the homies was incarcerated. I can remember when I was in the feds, I was at Coleman, me and a couple of the homies and shit, and Solo had done got out. Solo didn't get out yet. Let me take that back. Solo didn't get out yet. But Solo had, you know, received the call, And he was told that, you know, this nigga Chip wanted to holler at him. But mind you, we used to deal with this nigga on the street level. You know what I'm saying? He had his own shit going on. We had our own shit going on. But at the end of the day, we always told niggas like him, like even with the shit he pushing the House of Fire shit, you know, because Zoe Pound was getting, you know what I'm saying, all the recognition at that time. Motherfuckers wanted to hear that Zoe Pound shit. Zoe Pound was beating up the airwaves, you know what I'm saying? At that time, Zoe Pound was probably the next thing smoking out of Miami. So, you know, we formed a coalition and everything. We had a FLA coalition before the We the Best shit. Before Cali them even thought about a We the Best. Cali was fucking DJing with DJ Solomon on the underground radio station at that time. I remember we did a show at Cristal, which was Luke's former club. You know what I'm saying? We did a show out there, and Cali and all of them was out there in the parking lot when we did the show, and niggas was like hoovering around us like, yo, you know, don't forget where y'all come from, you know what I'm saying, when y'all blow, you know what I'm saying, don't forget, you know what I'm saying, where y'all come from. And we was more so like, nigga, come on, man. We the realest shit down here, dog. You know, when we blow, our city blow. Anything in our city blow. Trick already had his little thing going on. Trick was already beating up the waves. At that time, for real, Trick had sent a sample with his vocals on it anyway. Zoe Pound had supposed to did something with Trick at the time. You feel me? Red Eye as an artist, you know what I'm saying? For the Pound, him and Trick had their little relationship, you know, as artists, because Trick always used to come through, you know what I'm saying, honk the horn, you know, he was support, you know what I'm saying, to a degree, I'ma say. You know, so niggas kind of had a relationship, you know what I'm saying, with all the local groups. But man, nonetheless, man, this whole wannabe ass, fake ass nigga, Chip, at one time, he was calling himself Black Boy. And everybody knew that the nigga Booby went by Black Boy. That was his street name. But the nigga suffered from identity crisis so hard, he was calling himself Black Boy at one time. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to find something to cling on to make his name. I guess this nigga was just trying to make a name for himself, dog. But he just wanted to be anybody that had some type of street cred. So niggas was like, yo, man, I guess niggas checked them. Niggas like, yo, why you calling yourself Black Boy, dog? You ain't no motherfucking Black Boy, dog. You know what I'm saying? Come on, don't do that. So, for some odd reason, he changed his name and started calling himself Zoe. All right? So he was going by the name Zoe. I mean, this shit is so, it's embarrassing. It's terrible, dog. You know, but nonetheless, like I said, fast forward, you know, niggas court cases. He was doing the House of Fire thing. Most of the main heads, me, Mac, and Solo, you know what I'm saying? At least from the Pound side, you know, was locked up. And you already had a couple of the other homies that was locked up, you know what I'm saying, that got locked up, you know, even before the music, you know what I'm saying, took its course and was transitioning to where we was actually kicking the industry door down, you know what I'm saying? The homies had fell on the street level. But anyway, so that happened, you know what I mean? Solo gets the call. This nigga extend out, you know, an invitation to us to kind of, you know, support the boys, you know, financially. You know, in the background, he was supposed to be like, you know, assisting Blind, Kid, and the rest of the homies that was out, that was still a part of, you know, the movement. Financially, he was supposed to be like a financial support just to get the shit through the door. Because mind you, like I said, by the time I got incarcerated and Mac got incarcerated, we already had a contract from Warner Brothers. You know what I'm saying? We had a contract. We had the paperwork. Me and Mac left Time Warner's building with a contract. Now, what happened to the contract? I don't know. These are the questions that I'm still in search for an answer for, because, mind you, I got incarcerated. I was the first official homie that got incarcerated while the music... Well, Solo was first, because Solo was already serving his time, but I'm talking about one of the homies that had hands-on in the music, that was part of the executive branch of you know what I'm saying, of the label. You know what I mean? I was still out while Solo was incarcerated. So me and Mac on the Zoe Pound side, the street Zoe Pound side. The real homies, not Zoe Pound, the artists, not the Red Eyes and the Blind and the G Child and the Mac thing. Not that. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the core homies that were on the executive side of the music. You know what I'm saying? So he extended an invitation, if there's any funds needed, you know what I'm saying? He'll allocate funds and he'll help out. All the while, this nigga was on a quest. That was the first. You see, niggas be reading 48 Laws of Power and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit that's it's Sahu, is the Sahu version of the spirit. It's the lowest stratum of self. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is so mundane. This nigga read the 48 Laws of Powers and all these old frivolous ass books that, man, deemed them smart or conscious. That's the lamest shit ever. You know what I'm saying? When you talking about gods and goddesses, man, that's the lamest shit ever. You ain't even talking about as a man thinking of some shit like that. You know what I mean? So anyway, you gotta understand, you dealing with a dude that suffered from identity crisis. The nigga is mentally deranged. You know what I'm saying? A nigga that don't even have, you know what I'm saying, decency for the woman that pushed him out of her womb, bruh. Like, come on, dog. We finna let all these old skeletons out of the closet with these fake ass niggas that fucked up the Zoe Pound name. And like I told y'all, anything that y'all been gobbling up from 2003 on back, all these smack DVDs, all these fake ass interviews that this nigga did, all the shit that he, you know what I'm saying, I don't know, he so-called was trying to extort niggas that, for real, we fucked with. Fuck, we extorting niggas for, and nigga, we are the power. We was getting bread, so it was nothing to extort about. But like I said, you had niggas with these false ass motherfucking thoughts in they brain that, you know what I'm saying, that's how we rolled or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And then you got niggas talking about whenever he came to Lil Wayne about an artist jumping on a track. Lil Wayne did just what he was supposed to do. Nigga, you had a weak ass artist. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know the artist like that, so I ain't gonna just talk down on him. But what Lil Wayne was saying is, nigga, if you want me to jump on the track, you know what I'm saying, your artist got to get his game up. His shit wasn't right. So now, under the name of Zoe Pound, man, this nigga did what hoes do when they mad at a nigga. What type of real nigga if you got a problem with a nigga, you gonna burn his motherfucking phantom. Matter of fact, I could bet $1 million to a bucket of shit that he didn't do it. You probably son some old flunky that thought you was the Pound too to go ahead and burn this man phantom, not knowing if you was smart enough, you burn a nigga car. You don't think a nigga insured and shit? You don't think a nigga got insurance on this shit? So what kind of points you gain from burning a nigga phantom? And then you got these old funny bunny ass, Rudy Poo ass, fugazi ass niggas out here that was bigging that shit up like he did something serious. You feel me? Like you did something serious, dog. That was some straight hoe shit. You feel what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And I'm a back, you know what I'm saying, Cash Money them up on that, dog. Them niggas ain't no suckers. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas, from what I know, them niggas was real street niggas. When we went down through there, when they took us to the Cash Money Mansion, when they took us to the Noya, niggas ain't try to rob, niggas ain't pull no hoe ass moves, none of that shit. So we gave them the same love that they got from us when they was down here, nigga. Zoe Pound allowed Cash Money to have a pass in Miami. That's the first group of niggas that they fucked with in Miami. It was all through, everywhere we went, it was Cash Money motherfucking Zoe Pound. You know what I'm saying? And we met them boys at BB Circle House, which we fucked with BB on a level. That's who studios we used to go to do our fucking music. And when we was mixing and mastering Most Wanted, I'll never forget that day, we was mixing and mastering the song Most Wanted on the Zoe Pound album. And them boys had just detoured off the tour. They had the Cash Money and Rough Rider tour, because Cash Money and Rough Rider couldn't get along on that tour. So they canceled the whole tour, and them boys started doing their own tour. They was touring their way all the way down to Miami. And when they came to Miami, they landed at Circle House, and that's where we met them boys, in Circle House. Them boys came in the B room and heard that motherfucking track and was like, damn, who them hot boys is? And from that point on, we hooked up with them boys, and every time you seen Cash Money in Miami, it was Zoe Pound Cash Money. All right? Y'all lay around for the, the next version of this video, man. I'll holler at y'all. Once again, I am Junky Junk, the official Zoe Pound representative. I'm back out here 10 toes down. It's a lot of cleaning up to do with this Zoe Pound name. They fucked Zoe Pound name up in the industry, tainted it up, especially that nigga Chip with all the bullshit he was doing. I don't even understand how motherfuckers in the industry let this coward ass nigga get away with shit. Nigga straight coward, straight buster. You know what I'm saying? And I'm on some respect of the check and shit. I wish that we could set up a symposium and this nigga could sit in front of me and claim all that bullshit that they put, all them smack DVDs y'all saw from 2003 on down, all that shit fake. And then you had the sad part about it is you had niggas like Red Eye. You had all these niggas that's supposed to have been original ZP niggas, you know what I'm saying, following this nigga. That's why you know a lot of them niggas, like y'all thought a lot of these niggas was street niggas, but I'm here to set the record straight, man. A lot of them niggas was not street niggas. A lot of niggas was around the boys on some music shit, not on the street level shit. Niggas ain't getting credit for that. Nigga, you niggas ain't roll with a nigga. You niggas ain't from Sabre Pond. You niggas ain't contributed nothing. Niggas half of them niggas don't even know what the White House looked like until it was time for a fucking video. You niggas get that shit right, dog. But anyway, you know what I mean? I'm gonna keep y'all informed on what's going on. You know, y'all gonna get the real, blood raw real. You know, we gonna be coming with the facts. We gonna put all the facts on the table, and it's gonna be like a respect it or check it thing. You feel what I'm saying? We about to expose all these clowns, and Zoe Pound is gonna be right back on top. You know what I mean? It's a vicious demonstration going on. Man, it's very, very sad. You know, Macazo got caught up in the shit he got caught up in. Macazo did not do what he's locked up for. It's because of the name and because sucker niggas be dropping name and got him caught up. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna set the record straight. We gonna get all that shit cleaned up. Like I said, I'm back out here, 10 toes down, and we gonna eradicate all the bullshit. I'm gonna prove to y'all that all the bullshit that been going on, that y'all been hearing about, you know, that got the world in fear about, and discrediting Zoe Pound for, you know, the movement we was on, we gonna set the record straight. All right? Until then, peace. Little Hades in the building, baby. For sure.